I'm like, all right, it's time to do my Western Conference recap. And I actually had to remind myself, wait, round one's still not over. All this screwy round two starting before round one is actually over. Oh man, that messed me up. Let's not waste any more time. Round one recap for the Western Conference. Let's start with Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas beating the Wild in 6 games. Or if you're a Wild fan, you're still waiting for game 7 because that puck was in. That sucks. That is a really awful way to go, especially with an almost comeback like that. You gotta give credit to the Wild though. I thought they'd be out in 5 games and I thought I was being generous with that. And for Dallas's round 2 opponent, who we now know as the St. Louis Blues, the Wild helped expose a weakness that we already kind of knew about, their goaltending. The Stars are spending an unfathomable amount of money on 2 pretty ho-hum goalies, man, which I think can work in the regular season, but over a 7-game series, you need a stud. You need someone who's your guy. Yes, the Stars make it on, and yes, they prove they can get it done without Tyler Seguin. That is very admirable, but I'm betting they're feeling pretty human. All the Flames fans right now who just remember the conditional pick and the Chris Russell trade are like, shut up, they're fine. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks lose in 7 games to the St. Louis Blues, who now take on the Dallas Stars. This is such a weird one for me, especially now that they've had a few days off. Because, oh no, the St. Louis Blues, they gotta face their boogeyman again in round 1, the Chicago Blackhawks, but they play them hard and they fight and they bite and they claw, and they got a 3-1 lead in the series. They got them on the rope. And then Chicago's like, we're Chicago. And they win game 5 and they win game 6 and they force game 7. Blues, 2-0 lead. They got them against the ropes again. They got them where they want them. And again, we're Chicago. And it's a 1-goal game. And Brent Seabrook, post, oh my goodness, it's still a 1-goal game. Time expires and the St. Louis Blues defeat the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Blues are so happy! The fans, they go nuts. That guy sends out a few tweets and now he's super famous. And Blues fans are going crazy. They're throwing a parade, signing babies, and who knows what's happening. And you still have 3 rounds left. Doesn't that suck? So you want to win the Stanley Cup, huh? Now, assuming the Blues got out of their series with the Blackhawks relatively healthy, because we all know that a regular season injury is a playoff I'm fine, they should probably be the favorite against the Dallas Stars. Or at least I'm saying that because of my bracket. And by the way, I bet on the Blues to beat the Blackhawks. Congratulations to me. Which is why I never, ever bet on anything, because my bracket is already ruined, because I had the Ducks going to the final. They lose in 7 to Nashville. I have a theory. You ever watch Dragon Ball Z? Remember the character Cell? Okay, well, Justin Williams is Cell. Every year, Justin Williams stabs Bruce Boudreau with his stinger and just saps him of all his Game 7 abilities and takes them for himself. Bruce Boudreau has 8 division titles. And his record in Game 7s, it's like if you took any fan and had them win a contest to coach a team, they'd probably do better. But that doesn't mean Bruce Boudreau's a bad coach, so what is it? Well, the Ducks aren't going to waste time figuring that out. They fired him. He's gone. Kaput. The guy who coached the Ducks to having the best record in the National Hockey League with the exception of the first 2 months, he's gone. The guy like fastest to 300 wins, I think, and maybe even 400. He's gone. He's unemployed right now. And Brian Murray, Ducks GM, ripping the Ducks' best players. I think specifically Corey Perry. He had a particularly miserable playoffs. So what are you saying? Is it their fault? Do they need to be accountable? Do you not think Bruce Boudreau can control them? What is it? Are you just making an emotional move? And while we yell and scream and ask all these questions about the Ducks, the Preds are like, sup? I don't think a lot of people gave them their due when they fell behind 3-2, because frankly, I was surprised to see them up 2-0. And then they lose game 3, I'm like, oh. Lose game 4, I'm like, that's about right. Lose game 5, I'm like, they had a good run. Game 6, game 7, they're through, Ducks gone, Bruce looking for work. And who are they facing? Oh yeah, that's right. The only surviving Californian team, the San Jose Sharks. And I know everyone's on the St. Louis bandwagon right now. I mean, they did beat the defending champs, but the Sharks are probably my favorite to come out of the West. If anyone coming into these playoffs said, you know what, I think the Kings are going to win the Cup, you wouldn't have looked at them sideways. It's the Kings! Yeah, of course, I expect them to win the Cup. And the Sharks slaughtered them. If you told me the Sharks were going to beat the Kings, alright, I wouldn't have been that shocked. But in 5? And with their starter Reimer sitting and their backup Jones playing? You're right. I'm just, I miss them, okay? And when you look at Brent Burns and you look at Joe Thornton, you know that the Sharks have it figured out. You start growing your playoff beard years ahead of time and you're fine. Again, it's that whole Dragon Ball Z thing. You build the power. So what do you think? Will the Predators be able to make Californian teams a thing of the past in these playoffs? Or am I crazy for saying that the Sharks are the favorite to come out of the West? Also, round 2 starting before round 1 is over. What did you think of that? I wasn't a fan. I can't put a reason on it for why I'm not a fan. It's just, I don't know, threw me off. But on the other hand, one thing we complain about every single spring / pretty much summer is, oh my God, the playoffs just go on so long. And I think the reason it worked out this way this year is Anaheim and Nashville just started to start late, weirdly, and of course they went 7 because of course. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Got a playlist where you can watch the rest of my stuff here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.